This is Sergeant Beast Larson. My wife and I want to thank over 4,000 people that responded. I posted early in December. We both tested positive for COVID-19 and we were doing very bad. These symptoms come on quick. I'm making this video. I want everybody to realize just how quick things can be. It's December 2020. It's COVID-19 SARS-2, round 2 of this virus. It started Thanksgiving Day. My wife started feeling sick, just not feeling well. And by Friday and Saturday, really tired and run down, taste buds kind of changing, but really couldn't put her finger on it. Had a video or had an appointment at the doctor on Monday, November 30th. She was too sick to go. I called. They said, we need a video visit right now. So phone got set up. She did the video visit. They said, we believe you have COVID-19. Come tomorrow morning, Tuesday, December 1st, early. They gave us a time. We went down, met the doctor in a parking lot. They did her test. And right away, she was positive. He looked at me and said, you've got it too. I can hear your breathing distress. You're her husband. You're together, sleep in the same bed. You're going to have it too. So that day, Tuesday the 1st, I took the kids. We went and got tested. Hers was the rapid test. We got tested. Myself and the two teenagers tested positive. That Tuesday night, we went to bed. By midnight, we were on fire. Our temperature, we were burning. I mean, like hot burning. We try and feel each other. No, I don't know if you got a fever, but when you got two people that's got high temperatures and you're trying to touch each other's head, where's the thermometer? I don't know. I'm too tired to go get it. We didn't have the energy to get out of bed and go get a thermometer. So we laid in bed. We spent about 4 nights of this real hot temperature, burning, and what felt like somebody taking a razor blade, cutting our skin and harvesting our organs. Not to sound gross, but that's what it really felt like. And I was a weightlifter. I have this on. I've got different videos with this jacket on, a lightweight jacket. The point to show you, I lost probably 30 pounds easy the first 2 weeks. I've posted on Instagram, pre-COVID, and then 2 weeks after COVID. This COVID is terrible. It was terrible. It's the worst thing I've been through in my life. I've been on multiple SWAT teams at the prison, extraction teams. I've been very physical my whole life. Trained weights, powerlifting, a strongman. I've punished my body. It was nothing. It gave me the will to survive, but it was nothing like the pain that I felt, that we felt. She's not in the video with me. She's at home. She's recovering. After 11 days in the hospital and me at home, and that was one of our biggest fears, and I told her, we see this on TV. I'm afraid for one of us to be in the hospital. I don't want to be on the phone on FaceTime, going like this and talking, a nurse holding the phone and saying goodbye. You see that on the TV shows, but that's a reality. The nurses are doing that. They have to do that for people, say goodbye to the loved ones. And I told her before she went to the hospital, I'm scared to death for you to go. She has a nerve disease, complex regional pain syndrome, and it kind of attacked her heart and her organs more. It attacked my bones and my muscles more. She felt distress in breathing pretty quick, and now that was a big decision for her to go to the hospital. She got there and they said her oxygen level was 88%. They transported her to another hospital that had 2 floors set up just for COVID-19, ICU kind of thing. She was in a room 2 doors from ICU, so she was considered an ICU patient, on the charts and everything, the door. On December 8th, day 13 of this virus for us, she almost died. Her heart slowed down, got regular, slowed down. Her oxygen level still wasn't good. They had the oxygen on her. She still was below what they wanted, the 95%. And she told me on the phone a couple days later that she saw a bright light and she started to the light. Now, in 2011, she went through a 4.5-hour surgery, putting a fixator on her foot. And she saw the light then and went towards it. And the light opened up and she saw Jesus. She talked to Jesus. She touched his robe. And he said, "Sean, I'm not ready for you yet." In that surgery in 2011, she turned around after Jesus said that to her. And she could see herself laying on the operating table with the doctor. Nurses doing their thing, putting the fixator on her foot. She was looking down and watching herself. She came back. She woke up from the surgery and she said, "I saw Jesus." Told me that wonderful story. Scared me to death. December 8th, she saw the light. She went to the light because in her past experience, she saw Jesus and wanted to see him again. This time it was just light. It stayed light. There, nothing changed. She turned around and saw 2 doctors and a bunch of nurses, and they were hooking paddles up to her, getting ready to shock her. Her heart went from low to 199 just fast. She was having electrical problems with her heart. She saw her body while she was in the bright light. She watched this and she came back. She woke up, looked at them. They got paddles on, ready to shock her. Kind of shocked the doctors. She opened her eyes and just looked at them like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "What are you doing?" This COVID is bad. Now, our kids were positive, other family members, their symptoms were minor. Smell, taste buds, a little bit of confusion. It came on quick with both of us. My fatigue, my appetite went quick. I'm a weightlifter. I'm a sponsored athlete, EPN supplements. Work out, eat like crazy. For me to have appetite and decrease of energy and kind of no desire to be physically like that, weight training, anything. I was recovering from shoulder surgery. It was different, but the confusion set in so quick with me that I couldn't put 2 and 2 together and make 4. It was a slow weekend at work. I was feeling weird that Monday, November 30th. By dinner time, and I had moved my desk to another desk at work, so I had to carry everything, move it, get it set up. The desk was a mess. I organized, threw some things away. I went through that whole process. And I was working till 8 p.m. About 6 o'clock, I realized there's Post-it notes and notes everywhere. This isn't like me. I'm not unorganized. My desk is clear, so when I'm talking with people, my desk is clear. It doesn't have what my projects are. Those are in a drawer. And I realized I'd only ate 5 bites of my rice and tuna. I was confused. Didn't realize this. Went home, like I said, December 1st. That Tuesday morning we tested positive. That Tuesday night began hell for us. I mean, when your body's burning and it feels like they're harvesting your organs, like they're crushing your bones, pulling your muscles out. I get up, go to the kitchen from the bedroom to get us something to drink or get something, and I'd forget what I was doing. I'd find myself standing in the kitchen looking around. "Honey, why did I go to the kitchen?" "You're getting water. You're getting us a drink." "Oh, okay." But for me to walk from the bedroom to the kitchen, my toes felt like they were broke. My feet hurt. The bones like they were broke. My bones hurt so bad, so quickly. My muscles hurt, and they deteriorated. 5'9", 200 pounds, 198 pounds, 2 days before COVID hit me. I lost about 30 pounds in 2 weeks. Like I said, I posted on Instagram some pictures under SGT Beast Larson. This was devastating to our bodies. I remember about the 3rd night, burning on fire, looking at her like, "Honey, you got to get it out. It's like a demon in me. I'm just on fire. My whole body is just not me. It's got to get out of me." That's a conversation. She looked at me and she said, "I know I am too." And I said, "What do we do?" She said, "Pray." About 5 or 6 days into this COVID for us. And I'm glad we went through it together to support each other. It would be very difficult for one of us at a time. I love her very much. We've been married 25 years. Wouldn't have it any other way. We're both still alive. Today is December 30th that I'm talking. And it's hard to talk. We didn't know what to do. We knew the temperature, the breathing. They told us, do as best as you can, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. It got to the point she had to go. The day after she went to the hospital, I went to the hospital. I didn't get an IV. They did some tests on my heart, my lungs. Said, you got double pneumonia, but your oxygen is 98%. You're too healthy to be here. I felt like I was dying and my body being ripped apart. And the doctor said, I'm sorry. What you're telling me, the things about your pain and what I've explained already, I'm hearing this from people all day long. He said, we've got 2 hospitals up here in the area, 2 floors each hospital set up for this. He said, you're too healthy. There's so many people that are close to dying and need ventilators. I can't admit you. You need to go home, eat and drink. I tried. 2 weeks had gone by. I got to day 16, December 11th. And that was my day. I got up. Kids are homeschooled, so, nobody was up. I was up early. Coughing really bad, hat coughing, throwing up. Went downstairs to the garage in a bi-level house to get a drink. Fell down the stairs, hit my head, my hand caught the door, hit my head on the door. I got a hard head. You know that from my videos. Didn't get hurt. I didn't have the energy anymore to go down and upstairs. I had to crawl. I got me a drink, a Diet Coke, which I couldn't taste anyhow, but I drank so much, water. I took it up, went, sat on the couch, called my wife, talked to her, told her I fell, I was okay, let her look at me on the phone. My mother-in-law called and talked to me, and she said, you sound really bad today. She'd call and talk to me every day. She said, call the doctor's office. And I said, I think they're closed. She said, no, they're open. So I called, didn't get anybody through the appointment line, hung up, and fell asleep. She called me back after about an hour. Did you get to the doctor? And I said, no, nobody wants to talk to me. No, you got to hit the button. If they're not talking, hit the button, the option to go to the on-call. That way you'll get to somebody quick. So I called back and did that. It was very difficult to manipulate a phone and hit option 1, hit option 4, and then leave a message. It was just so confusing. Doctor called me back in about 10 minutes and I answered, and she said, your breathing sounds terrible. You need to get to the hospital right away. So I did. I get to the hospital right away. And they hooked me up. And luckily, the nurse that was there remembered me from when I was on the police department. He had worked, the county I worked in, he was in a hospital there for several years. So he remembered me. And I don't remember a lot that happened that day. I became very delirious. I know I made a short video about 15 seconds and said, I'm laying there. I said, this is Sergeant Beast Larson. I will not die. This will not kill me. I will not die. I remember I kept saying that to myself. I will not die. And he stayed with me for 5 hours. This is my 16th day of this COVID. He stayed with me. They ran a test, the heart test, everything good, lungs, showed a little in the bottom, a little spotting in the bottom, no clots, no problem like that. My oxygen level was 99% the second day I went to the hospital. They gave me an IV with some fluids, had some antibiotics in there. Once the bag got through and I kind of calmed down a little bit, he told me, he said, you were going to die today. He said, you were so delirious, you were talking and crazy talking about stuff. And he said, I was afraid to leave you alone. He said, your body temperature was so high, you'd not eaten in almost, been 16 days. You were in bad shape. He said, if you would have went to sleep, you mentally would not be fighting this anymore. Your body could shut down. Your breathing could shut down. Your organs could shut down. He said, I stayed with you, and I thanked him for it. December 11th. That's my day. December 11th, 2001. My wife was riding along with me in the cruiser on the highway. We had a traffic stop. Some guys from Tennessee that I could smell large quantity of marijuana in the car, had a dog coming, the canine, to do a drug search. Both had a history of trafficking in marijuana. Both had suspended license, had warrants out of Tennessee. You know, things were looking really good as a police officer. Suspended warrants, history of trafficking, and a very strong odor. And I've been around a lot of drugs. I could tell when there's pounds in a car. There's pounds in the car. And while I was waiting, a lady in a pickup came over intentionally and hit the cruiser. My wife got injured. We went to the hospital, disengaged from the car. They left. They were allowed to leave because now we had to deal with the hit and run and injury accident situation. That was December 11th. 2 days on December 11th, 2 years. Jesus saved my life. I'm very thankful for everything. I told you in another video, when I became a police officer and I got sworn in, I put everything in God's hands. I put this career in God's hands. When I retired, I got working in a prison. I put it in God's hands. I know enough to put things in God's hands because you can't walk the walk that I've done in my life and live with this badge and gun for 30 years without having Jesus walk with you. God has been very good to me. Kept me alive. Got great kids, 2 grandbabies, 25 years of marriage. Happy marriage. We're both still alive. My wife spent 11 days in the hospital and she chose not to be on the video. That's hard for her to talk about. Almost dying again. She's been home about 2 weeks. We've been eating okay, normal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We try and be on a schedule, take the medicine, the antibiotics they gave us. This was the most difficult thing in our life to ever go through and to worry. And I told you December 8th, she almost died. She told me that 2 days later. That's December 10th. December 11th, I almost died. Dealing with my physical stress and what I was going through, and then the stress of her. She has to wear a defibrillator vest for a couple months. She wears that now. It's got the paddles in the back and the little circles here to shock her. If her heart starts racing again, it's going to shock her. And that scares both of us. It's almost killed us. You know, we're to the point during the bad times of, hey, you know, we got life insurance, we got this. You know, we need to talk to somebody about this. Let them know if we die, if we both die, what do? Call work. They'll get into the insurance and things like that. It was that bad for us. During the time in the hospital, 2 days after her heart did that and she almost died, she had 2 cardiologists and 7 nurses in her room almost all day for 2 days. She told me she got so bad, she was going to call for the chaplain to come down and pray for her in case she didn't wake up. Take this COVID serious. Both doctors in the ER told me it's coming from the nasal mist. You got to wear a mask. You got to cover your nose. Cover your nose. Here's her CRPS mask we had custom made. Get this thing over your nose. Get it way up here. Keep the kids, both my grandkids, 2.5 years old and 8 months, tested positive for COVID. Kids need to wear a mask too. Teach them. They need to have a mask. They need to not touch everything in the stores and when they're out. All these commercials you see on TV and the nurses talking about people crying and being on the ventilators, and they say, I never thought it would happen to me and now I'm on a ventilator. The guy at work says, I don't believe in this. It won't happen. So we almost died. Both of us almost died from this. This attacked me systematically. My bones, my muscles. Here's another bad thing that happened to both of us. From the very beginning symptoms, and after it took about 4 weeks of this, we felt no sensation to go to the bathroom. Every hour and a half, 2 hours, honey, let's go to the bathroom. We go to 2 different bathrooms, sit on a potty just in case, and you have to listen to see if you're even going to the bathroom, if you're urinating or not. And if you were, it was burning. Our stomach and our backs, our bodies, chest and back were burning. We couldn't even feel ourselves urinating. That's bad. It took a month for that to go away. You go to the bathroom and have to listen just to see if you're going or not. Folks, take this serious. It's not a joke. With her nerve disease, I got laid off from my other job back in March. We were so careful. Nobody at our house, nobody at other houses, kids were homeschooled right away. We didn't encounter if I was at the grocery, and my wife pretty much stayed home for about 9 months. If we were at the grocery, I had a mask on way up over my nose, protected everything, sanitizer, Lysol. We were doing the whole thing like they tell us to do. It's still going to get to you. It can be carried by a carrier that gets a taste buds and smell affected, and that's it. And by the time they figure out, hey, this food tastes funny, you've already got it. That's how we got it. This is serious. Again, I want to thank everybody. Over 4,000, way over 4,000 people responded when I posted on Facebook prayers. 5 people said, you've always got a place. If you're passing through town, you've always got a place to stop here. That's how strong the family is with the badge, the family of blue. I've worked police, I've worked corrections, I've been in the military. It's a strong bond. It's very strong. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for your prayers. We've got through this. We're over the hump. I'm building my energy back. Today is my first day back at work, December 30th, back at the desk. She's still at home with the vest on. Very little energy, very little appetite. I don't have much appetite. As you could tell from my other videos, I've lost weight. So I've got to eat, try to exercise a little bit. I've tried a couple dumbbells last week, and it's a whole different pain. It's not like the physical pain of being hurt. It's not like the pain of when you normally are exercising and you start feeling the pump. You start thinking, 3 more reps, 4 more reps, whatever. I'm picking up a dumbbell, trying to do a press, and I feel like somebody's got a hammer or a board and they're beating my arms with it. Very frustrating, very hard, but I have to do this. It's within here. That's the beast got to come out. That's the warrior got to come out. I've got to work out. I've got to get my strength back. I'm a man. Got a wife and kids and grandkids. Got to take care of them. Got to get myself back the way I was and protect my family. Thanks to everybody. Lastly, I want to shout out to Nate. I didn't write his last name down intentionally on here. I can provide that if anybody wants it. He's a retired correction officer in Pennsylvania. He responded to me. Happened to be on the 6th night. The 6th day is when I posted on Facebook. He responded, hey, I sent you something, a messenger. Please call me. I messaged him back and I said, my head is killing me. Fever. I feel awful. I really can't talk on the phone. He said, okay, I'm going to type. He's a retired correction officer in Pennsylvania, went and got his medical degree, and he works research on COVID-19 SARS-2. He told me right away, he said, you need some vitamins, zinc, D3, C, EG, CG, and quercetin, and gave me the milligrams. I can provide that for anybody, just put it in the message. He said these are, vitamin C, obviously your immune system, vitamin D, for your bones, D3. The doctor he does research with and reads about in the first wave of coronavirus, I believe it was 90% of those that passed away, their D3 level was below 30. It's supposed to be between 30 and 100. 90% of them had low D3 levels, which is in their bones. So you need that, and the zinc. You got to have this for your body. These are immune building type vitamins. You need to get them started within 5 days. By the time we got the vitamins, it was day 7. So we were past the 5-day incubation period. We were like full blown, all spread and just attacking everything in our body. So it wasn't quite as effective for us, but it helped. We're both still alive. Thank you, Nate, for taking the time. Thank you for messaging me for over an hour that night. Folks, have your life in order. Have your family in order. Have your spiritual life in order. Because this is hitting everybody. I'm in the hospital, feeling like I'm dying. The nurse is staying with me. He's afraid for me to go to sleep. They turn around and discharge me after 12 hours and say, they're full. They have too many people that are sicker than me. I have to go home. And I'm like, what? I'm almost dying. I feel like I'm dying. I'd have somebody stay with me so I didn't go to sleep. And there's that many people worse off than me. This is real. This is real. So mask up. Get your sanitizers out. Be careful what you do. Sergeant Beast Larson. Beginning back to the other topics, some physical training topics as well, besides correction and law enforcement topics. Any suggestions? I do have one. I'm going to do a pat-down video coming up for a couple guys that requested that. But if you got any suggestions for me, I'm back at it. The beast is alive. Jesus made sure of that. Hit the like, hit the share. Don't forget to subscribe.